Episode 5 of Black Mirror Season 7 takes us into a sad and strange story about grief, memory, and regret. It's about the stories we tell ourselves and about what happens when technology forces us to confront a past we have tried to bury. The episode begins peacefully. A man named Philip is trimming roses in his garden. Right away, there's a feeling of isolation. He lives alone. He doesn't seem to expect calls or visitors. The roses, while beautiful, are a symbol of care, control, and maybe something he's nurturing to make up for something else missing in his life. Then the phone rings. A voice says they're calling on behalf of someone named Carol Royce and her daughter Kelly. Philip says he doesn't know them until they say the name Hartman. The voice introduces a company called Eulogy. They make digital, immersive memorials for the dead, and they want Philip to contribute memories for Carol's. Right off the bat, we're introduced to a recurring Black Mirror theme: the commercialization of grief. The Eulogy technology seems gentle and helpful, like Siri or a friendly voice assistant. But still, the whole idea of turning someone's memory into a museum-like display is creepy. A drone drops off a kit. The disc is sleek, white, and minimal. Philip is given a guide, a calming voice that helps him relive and record his memories with Carol. But the problem is that he can't picture her face. The person he once loved, someone who shaped part of his life. He's erased her from his mind because he forced himself to. They begin with old photos. But in most of them, Carol's face is turned, blurred, or scribbled out. Philip cut her out after they broke up. This is a visual metaphor, showing us that he didn't just move on. He literally removed her from his memory. But with the help of the guide, he begins re-entering the photos as fully immersive memories. He walks through his own past like a museum exhibit. And as he recalls details, like how he was feeling and the music playing, clarity comes back. This is how memory works. It's fragmentary, emotional, and sometimes misleading. Through this process, Philip tells us a story, a complicated romance in Brooklyn, living as artists, dreaming about the future. But we also begin to notice cracks. He talks a lot about how Carol hurt him, how she left, and how he never recovered. The missing face is powerful. It's a metaphor for how our minds blur the people we try to forget, especially after heartbreak. Carol turns into both a ghost and a blank space. This moment introduces the episode's central question: who are people really, outside of how we remember them? The deeper Philip dives, the messier it gets. At first, the guide is gentle and helpful, but slowly, she begins challenging him, questioning his version of events. Questions like, why didn't Carol play the cello in their band if she loved it so much? And why does he keep dodging responsibility? We learn about a Halloween party, and it's full of tension. He fights about a man talking to Carol. A woman named Emma, who Philip says that they had nothing going on, is seen talking to him at that party. But the guide points out that Carol's body language shows that she wasn't interested in that man, and she was clearly leaning away from him. Maybe Philip's jealousy and insecurity were slowly chipping away at their relationship. This is memory being used to hide the truth. The scratched-out photos show how Philip is trying to block his feelings. He doesn't just miss Carol. He's still affected by how much she changed him. He tries to take control of his memories to protect himself, but doing that also means he's left with nothing real to hold on to. This part of the episode shows how our memories can't always be trusted, especially when we want to see ourselves as both the hero and the one who was hurt. Philip finally shares the memory of their last dinner together. Carol looked different, and she wasn't drinking the champagne that Philip had bought, and she was quiet for the whole date. He eventually proposed to her, but she just got up and left. Here, the guide pushes back hard. She says, "You talk a lot about how sad you were. What about Carol?" Then she drops the twist. The guide isn't just software. She's a stand-in avatar for Carol's daughter, Kelly. Carol was pregnant at that dinner, but Philip isn't the father. Philip's cheating pushed her into having a one-night stand. She was overwhelmed with emotions, and that's why she left him during his proposal. The moment hits hard. Philip has spent the entire episode framing himself as the victim of a tragic love story. But now we see that his version is incomplete, biased, and one-sided. Here, Black Mirror does what it does best. Tech is both villain and therapist. The guide isn't there to comfort him. She's there to deconstruct him. This is where the episode's core theme lands. Memory is not truth. It's a story, one we retell until we believe it. And sometimes, we edit out the parts that hurt the most, especially the ones where we are the villains. After the reveal, Phillip is devastated. But now he wants to remember, not just for himself, but for Kelly and for the memorial. He digs out an old disposable camera. There is only one photo left from that time, but it's just the floor of the hotel room, nothing helpful. Or so it seems. The guide takes him inside the photo, and in the mess of that final moment, there's a note on the ground. Addressed to Philly, Carol left a letter. Phillip desperately tries to pick it up, but the rules of the memory won't let him. This moment is pure Black Mirror tragedy. Technology can help him relive the past, walk through it, touch it, but not change it. He can't reach the one thing that might have given him closure. This twist recontextualizes the entire episode. Phillip's self-pity, his fixation on being abandoned, his desperate need to be understood, they all collapse when faced with the truth that Carol was pregnant. That she left not out of cruelty, but necessity. The guide, as her daughter, symbolizes the next generation confronting the trauma of the past. This is no longer about memory, it's about accountability. The episode ends with the funeral in London. Phillip arrives, and everyone there is locked into the discs on their temples. Carol's daughter sits at the front, playing the cello music her mother wrote. She looks at him. It cuts back to Carol in the photograph, and finally, she looks up and smiles and laughs at Phillip watching her. Phillip's journey shows how hard it is to let go of someone you loved deeply. At first, he tries to control or erase his memories of Carol because they're too painful. But by the end, he stops fighting them. He accepts the memory, listens to her music, and lets himself feel again. This shows how healing doesn't mean forgetting someone. It means learning how to live with the memory. When Carol's daughter plays the cello at the funeral, it shows that love and art can outlive us. Carol's music becomes a bridge between the past and present, between mother and daughter, between Phillip and the memory of Carol. Even though she's gone, her impact remains. Make sure to like and subscribe if you enjoyed this video, and I will see you in the next one.